Hello and welcome to Spinster's Library. I'm Claudia and this is the 9th installment of my Women of Harry Potter series. This episode is about Rita Skeeter and there will be spoilers for the entire series of books, so if you haven't read them, don't watch this video until you have. Before we get into the discussion, I just wanted to point out that the entire Women in Harry Potter playlist will be linked up here and also in the description box down below. So if you haven't seen the previous videos in this, go ahead and watch them. The first 4 videos in the series are recorded as conversations with my friend and ex-spinster Charlie, and then after that it's just me doing a scripted discussion like this one. So, Rita Skeeter. She is actually the first woman I am discussing for this who is definitely 100% a villain. I've talked about Narcissa Malfoy and Merope Gaunt, both of which are in that moral grey zone that's very interesting to discuss. But Rita Skeeter is, without a doubt, evil. She is a personification of the British tabloid press. She's an instrument of governmental propaganda. She is unethical and she is exploitative. She uses the power that she has as a journalist to carry out personal vendettas against, for example, Hermione and Dumbledore. She is a horrible, nasty person. But what I find particularly interesting is how J.K. Rowling explores and describes this nastiness when she is not talking directly about the actions that Rita Skeeter takes. In Harry Potter, there is usually a number of signifiers that tell us whether a character is good or evil. Obviously, there are some characters that are somewhere in between, but generally speaking, bad people are marked out by a specific way of describing their physical characteristics. So, what is the thing that marks Rita Skeeter out as a villain from the start? In her case, it's all about the presentation and perception of femininity. This is the description we get when we first meet her in The Goblet of Fire. Her hair was set in elaborate and curiously rigid curls that contrasted oddly with her heavy-jawed face. She wore jeweled spectacles. The thick fingers clutching her crocodile-skinned handbag ended in 2-inch nails painted crimson. Let's take this description apart a little bit. The first layer we get is of a woman who is adorned with items that signify a feminine version of luxury and decadence. There's the impractically long nails, the crocodile handbag, the elaborate hairstyle, and the bejeweled glasses. As well as this being a shorthand for femininity, it's also a shorthand for upper classes and wealthy individuals. Rowling uses this particular combination a lot in descriptions, for example, of Aunt Petunia, Narcissa Malfoy and Dolores Umbridge. This is meant to give a sense of fakeness, of someone is dishonest and trying up their true ugly nature with expensive jewelry and feminine decorations. There's also the way her hair is described as rigid, for example. Rigid, unnatural, artificial, fake. You get these connotations, and I don't like them a bit. They vilify femininity in a way that we see over and over again in the books. The act of changing your appearance as a woman is portrayed as something bad, and we rarely see the good female characters do it. They are either naturally beautiful, like Ginny and Fleur Delacour and Lily Potter, or they don't care about their appearance, like Hermione, who has a makeover exactly once in the series and then goes back to her practical self. When we strip back the layers of that initial description of Rita Skeeter even more, we see something even more unpleasant in the way that Rowling uses these signifiers of femininity. Because we get 2 descriptions of Rita Skeeter's actual body, of her own true physicality. And they are, first, her thick fingers, and second, her heavy-jawed face. You see where I'm going with this? The word problematic doesn't even cut it. You see, Rita Skeeter uses her jewelry and her makeup and her hair trickery to cover up her inherent physical masculinity. The alarm bells in my head are going off, and they should be in yours too. This is wrong on so many levels. I am disappointed that Rowling had to resort to this kind of transphobic, misogynistic shorthand in order to convey the morally depraved nature of one of her characters is lazy. She can do better than that, we know she can. And it betrays her own prejudices. Because while you might argue that we see this from the point of view of Harry and that it betrays his prejudices, the narrator does nothing to dispel those. The narrator does nothing to point out to the reader how wrong this kind of perception is. It's a shame, but it's not at all surprising, and we see her do this several times over the course of the books in descriptions of, for example, Marge Dursley and Dolores Umbridge, where a fake type of femininity is used to cover up an inherent masculinity, and that is supposed to tell us this person is fake, this person is evil. I feel like there are so many thoughts that I have about this that I feel completely inadequate in expressing. So I hope you will step in and give me your opinion on this rather grating and disappointing part of Rita Skeeter's characterization. I love the Harry Potter books, and I'm sure you do too, since you clicked on this video, but I feel it's so important to read them critically, read them closely, and call the author out on discriminatory writing like this. Please let me know what you think, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.